Good evening, everyone. This is Professor Chisholm, and I thought I'd take some time to go ahead and look over what we need to do for week 5. Yes, 5 weeks already. All right, so great job so far, guys. I hope you guys are enjoying yourself. That's the bottom line, is I want you to be able to enjoy yourself as we do these different projects. And I also want you to start thinking about how you can maybe utilize some of these approaches in terms of when you're trying to come up with designs for people. Okay, so this week we are doing pages 61 through 73 in the Graphic Design Thinking book, and then we're doing pages 27 through 41 in the Graphic Design Process book. And the first assignment is going to be out of the Graphic Design Thinking textbook on page 69. So you're going to want to really make sure that you read through this. But have you ever looked at something and thought, wouldn't this be cool if they had, coffee also here? Sort of like Barnes and Nobles when they added their own sort of coffee shop. What a great idea. Forced connections, right? So this is what we're looking for. So what I want you to do is I want you to be very creative with an idea about how you can take, in the book it uses an example of a laundromat. Is there a way to, because everyone, going to a laundromat is pure drudgery, isn't it? It is. You're like, I got to go to the laundromat. But what if it was, what if they served alcohol at the laundromat? Or had a coffee shop at the laundromat. What sort of quirky little thing could you have at the laundromat that would be appealing to people so that they'd want to go to the laundromat? Well, what if there were video games you could play, or maybe some pinballs or something quirky like that, okay? So I want you guys to think about something that, putting two things together to make it better, right? And I think you see a trend in that now with some of the businesses out there, all right? Now, you're going to want to look at the 4 steps that are there, and you're going to figure out, choose a connection, and then you're going to make 2 lists. Let's say your goal is to design a new kind of coffee shop. So that you're going to brainstorm. So you're going to brainstorm for both lists, right? And then you're going to sort of try to figure out how to combine messages or functions together, right? The two. So you got to figure out, okay, coffee shop's message is this, and laundromat's message is this. So how do we combine the two? And then you're going to want to come up with maybe drawing some visuals to sort of pull this all together. Okay, I think it could be a lot of fun. You look at it. Have you seen the people that do yoga with goats? I think it's I also saw a yoga class that did it with beer too, which was a little weird, but okay, you're exercising but you're drinking beer at the same time. But they have that goat yoga place. They also have some, I think there's even one in Orlando that does that. But think about that, okay? So you want to then you're going to want to pull some visuals together. But bottom line is have fun. Now make sure that you comment on 2 of your peers, right? Now the next one is 5.2. So now you need to start looking at your environment and look at you want to look at different materials that make up everyday things, objects, okay? And maybe more from a design perspective. So maybe interesting packaging, interesting, brochures. Now, you can't have all the same materials, right? So you've got to find 4 different materials. So it could be plastic from packaging design, could be cardboard, could be paper, could be wood, could be fabric, right? So this is what you want to look at. And you want to, go through and answer these questions that are for this. And then make sure you provide images of the objects you're referring to in this assignment. Okay, so you're gonna have to write this up, but you're also gonna have to supply images as well. Okay, again, make sure you respond to 2 of your peers. And then last but not least, we are working on week 5. From the design method book, and you're going to be reading Gaining Understanding, the discovery stage. Yeah, and I think that as I see you guys working through this, and now we're actually getting into the actual design, I think you're getting a little more intrigued by the whole process, right? And yes, there is a process, and that's why we're doing this. It's just so that you actually see that there is a whole process to actually graphic design. A lot of times people just want to rush in and start working on the actual software software and the actual design without actually taking the time to do the research and the development that needs to go into it before you actually start the project. And the other thing is, a lot of these assignments, hopefully you're getting ideas of how you can incorporate that in your research and design part. Okay? All right, guys, that pretty much sums it up. As always, if you need me, I'm an email away. Please feel free to reach out to me. Otherwise, as always, have a productive week and do great things.